Hello and welcome to the Great Ace Attorneys. The Great Ace Attorney. Chronicles. Adventures of Chronicles. Case 5, Part 2. It's not really much of a case so far, but I think we, what happened last time? Oh yeah, we were talking to Eggs Benedict last time. He wanted his jacket from Gina Lestrade. And he didn't like our answer. So Gregson tried to arrest him and he ran off. Let's get the game up. And let us continue. Actually, before I start here, I just want to let any viewers know Spooktober is coming. You should know that. But what you may not know is that I haven't decided a game yet, and the news is that I have decided a game for Spooktober, and I will be beginning that after I finish up with my Ace Attorney game here. So this case, after this case, I'm starting Spooktober. So, and then after that, I'm planning on doing Metroid Dread, because I have the game on pre-order, so I should be getting that next month as well. So yeah, next month's gonna be it's gonna be a fun month. Back to playing old action games again, kind of. All right. To the game. See? That's why I ate grown-ups. That's why I ate them. I ate the grown-ups. I ate them all. Yum, 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 yum. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take your stuff away from you. Oh, really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What? Oh my, surely you were given that. Yeah, but you let me keep it, after I looked daggers in him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it, or tell me to stop it. Always pays off getting people to look like you ate them. Yes, I ate them, they're very good, they're in my stomach now. I do not want to make a vor joke here. I really do not. Let's not go there. Don't go there. I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc, mind. The music box disc. But Mr. Winniebank said it was practically... Oh, but Mr. Winniebank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm going to go and have another dash. Give him a long and taut stare. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Winniebanks again today. Why not? It's not fair. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now, and taking a statement from Mr. Winniebank. But that disc mine. I had to take it for the coat, and it was in the coat's pocket. And there should be something else in the envelope. That's what the rotten coat said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well, then that's mine too, whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, it's all your fault, Sholmes. So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Yeah. Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure. And I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. No, Ta. Oh. Why would I come around to your place, eh? Have you lost your lead something? And she vanishes. Oh dear, she's gone. Whatever could we have done to stop her? Oh no, don't run away. Oh wait, it's too late. She's gone. Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. When she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. I'm making a pretty big presumption here. Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for a potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Oh, how exciting! What is it?
You shall have to wait and see, Miss Susato. Until later, then. Neverhoover's legal consultancy.
Ah, Susie and Bruno. Come in, come in.
Good afternoon, Iris. What have you made for us today?
Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already.
Busy as always?
I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you?
Oh, yes. After all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on. Hehe. You'll never guess.
Dina Lestrade. Those little eyes at first shining.
Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Guinea! Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise! Yes, that's wonderful news.
Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional.
Oh yes, that does sound like fun. Don't let anybody know I said that, because I'm supposed to be a lawyer here. I'm supposed to be following the law. I can't be pickpocketing people. Just saying.
I'm not sure if that's entirely appropriate. Are you, Mr. Naruhodo?
By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to? Is he being depressed again?
Hurley? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes. I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to oblivious to everything.
Yes, I see.
Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes. Really does. Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they? It's kind of weird, isn't it, since they're not related?
Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are.
What's the matter, Bruno? Have you ever You have ever such a funny look on your face.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
I know what it is. Why does this girl live here alone with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right? How did you... Oh, Bruno, I can read you like a book. A very big book. Actually, very like a comic book.
This girl is dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask me anything. I won't mind.
I guess we're conversing. Did I show you my armband? Would you mind if I show you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really.
Oh, I don't really like boring things.
Looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children.
I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. Come to think of it, you're always introducing things with, this is boring, but it's a bad habit. You should stop it.
I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return how boring my armband is. So, by Guinea, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McGilded case 2 months ago, right?
Yes, who also stole my experimental grenade launcher. Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends. Oh, hee, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Oh. And I chase after her down the back alleys.
Interesting idea of friendship. Okay.
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh. There are so many beautiful colors in the world. Guinea wants me to make a whole rainbow.
I suppose this means you let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yes, that's right. I got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Poor Hurley.
Ooh, I can't wait for Guinea to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come.
I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents?
My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore. They're dead. They died in a tragic accident by criminals. And that has made me determined to become an inventor and a superhero so I can fight crime alongside my partner, Sherlock Sholmes. And I will take vengeance for my parents' death. No one will stop me. Not even you, Mr. Naruhodo. Mommy passed away when I was born. And around the same time, my father... Well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley?
Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together. She didn't mention that before. He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the middle chest over there.
Really? He recorded them all?
So, you mean it's true? Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases. Oh yes, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father.
Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest, but that only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up and found your father's memoirs. Yes, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me. That's when I found out that the author of those accounts was my father. So Iris's father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. Was this the dude who got killed back in the first case? I don't remember his name. I practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in, so it came as quite a shock when Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy. I mean, it must have done. Okay, I don't really get that line. I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and at such a young age. Hurley said it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me, because I'm very nosy. Oh. Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, I might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes. Right. Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, actually. I'd always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solved the case, it all but vanishes from his mind. Oh, I see. It's not a very helpful talent. The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone. You can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study so that I could earn a doctorate as well. Iris's father, who went to some distant land. Could it be such a coinky-dink? And is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Do you remember my voice? It was quite a while back. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Ah, memories. That was so long ago now. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Miss Susato, you know what I'm thinking, right? Yes. Yes. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. I think that would be for the best. Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you. Mr. Sholmes. Why did you not make your presence known to me before? Ah. Well, you see, there's this thing that we
Yeah, you know what? Never mind. Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Goodness, really? Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed? Hmm? My violin? Whatever you were talking about, dear madame. Oh, never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows. Oh, another music box disc. No, not another disc, Miss Fusaro. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGilded's disc. Oh my. Then what's it doing here? You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that, though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may well be even more adept at larceny. You just admitted to stealing from the police. Ooh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant. And Runo could be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught. Let's not go down this path. Okay, this is very legally dubious. Right. Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting, she could write all our menacing crime notifications. Notifications, I mean. Yes, I'd be delighted. What are you... Why are you agreeing to this, Suzato? Why? I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happens, I think. Okay, just to make sure you've seen my armband, right? I must stop you there, Mr. Naruhodo. Unofficial I may be, but I am nevertheless a professional. I couldn't examine such a humdrum item. For anything less than £5. Oh, no, I didn't really want you to examine it. I just wanted to ask it. My dear fellow, as a professional consulting detective, I couldn't possibly venture an opinion for anything less than £5. Are you perhaps hoping to purchase a new telescope in the near future, Mr. Sholmes? Indeed I am. As you know, it has long been an ambition of mine to discover a new star and name it for myself. Because your earthly stardom isn't enough. I'm pretty sure I actually had that reaction the last time I played. Anyway. I don't understand. How did that disc come into your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this. Chocolate? That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes. Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows. Cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking out whatever it is McGill down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh yes, of course. If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand. Did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars, like this. That's amazing. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel. Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution. It is also quite delicious as well. And very, very chewy.
How extraordinary.
Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves to be very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press, and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment. Yes, it sounds illegal. From the image, I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played.
Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. No idea. None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not.
Goodness, you don't know, Bruno?
I mean, we kinda saw one at the other shop.
Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making different notes. The first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances in it.
But over time, a new type of player was produced, which uses discs, such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe.
Why exactly?
Because globalization, my dear Miss Mikotobo. Globalization. Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present.
But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem.
What do you mean?
As you may imagine, the construction of one's firm's music box does not match that of another. And we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable.
Ah, I see.
So that's why... Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But, as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's Hurley for you, always taking things too far.
But, my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? It's gonna be a lot of music boxes. Probably also very expensive, too. Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room.
What?
I don't like that. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Flashback. Mr. McGill had perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained there. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial, the newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGilda was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. It would appear the case is not yet closed.
Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Guinea will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes, you may be right.
Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windybank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he?
Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Were his words, I believe.
So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story, languishing in Mr. Windybank's storeroom, gathering dust.
My dear madame, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it. More secure than a bank's vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure?
Well, there may be the occasional mix-up, caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley? Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. Ah.
What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room?
Susie, what did you say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well, that's...
And that's because Miss Suzato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
But Runo, the Hound of the Baskervilles, has never been published.
What? Nani?
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said he'd keep it safe. Until it's the right time for the story to be made public, you see.
So that's why the manuscript is at Windybank's.
And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Have you been snooping at the pawn shop, Susie, behind everybody's back? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
Ah. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. Miss Lestrade.
This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going. No, wait, Miss Lestrade. Come back. You've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Haven't we, Susato? Haven't we, Mr. Sholmes? Haven't we? Oh, yes. Just wait there, Guinea. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you, Miss Lestrade. Please make yourself at home. Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer. Meddlesome it is then. And cat. That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome. And Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. It was a fun little game. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it? Oh yes. Iris's cooking was truly divine. And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now. Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Let's not do that. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something, I wonder? What's the matter, Susato-san? It's about the telegram I received. Ah. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose. I've been summoned. What? Summoned? What do you mean? The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me. The Lord Chief Justice? When? Tomorrow morning. What? Then we have to start preparing at once. Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone. Alone? What on earth for? I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow. What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Uneasy. Oh, who could that be, I wonder? Good evening, friends! Ah, Iris, hello again. And hello. To you, too. And Gina, too. Yes, Guinea's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Guinea? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. It'll keep you up all night. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Guinea showed us. Wasn't it wonderful? Oh, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques. We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we? And we didn't pickpocket anything of value. I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little bit there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour? Not to pickpocket, I presume.
Well, you see, I came to return this.
Oh. Wait, what? That's mine.
Oh my, however did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it.
Oh yes, I've forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
So anyway, here, you have it back. It's so very, very boring. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
Ah, thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yes, good night. Don't try and steal my sword.
So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Guinea?
I think I would fancy me chances of a lawyer and not living in a place like this.
Yes, me too.
Seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. Like, don't disrespect the lawyer. I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript. Yes, I suppose she probably does. No, I'm not going to present that again. Actually, no, let's just leave. Let's just leave. No.
Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time. Please.
Are you psychic? You better not be. We don't tolerate that type of bullshit in this game.
Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris. Not at all. I don't know what this is all about, really, but... It's a story you made up. Is it, Iris? This manuscript, or whatever you call it. It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries.
Daddy's?
That's right. I don't suppose I mentioned it to you before, Guinea, but... My daddy was Hurley's assistant once. His partner.
Eh?
They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's your old man now, then? He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time. So I never really met him.
Oh, right. Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story. I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts.
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different now. Different somehow. From the other cases, I mean.
Oh, how?
I don't really know. But it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it, and I showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that.
It pains me to have to say this after you toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time. under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say. Not now. So please do not ask me.
Alright then, I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris. When the time is right. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windybank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe. That really gets my goat, that does. He's treating you like a child. It's me, that's what it is. Keeping secrets like that.
I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean.
Eh?
If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason.
I think so too. You lot are too trusting for your own good. But he can't pull the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris. I bet my life on it.
What?
Nani? Hurley's lying to me.
I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina. Not that it might have anything to do with the plot, but let's go ahead and see where this goes.
I ain't got any, have I?
Never did have. But you said the coat was your dad's or something, wasn't it?
Oh. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us. From the minute we're born, not even our mums.
But we all stick together.
The older ones look after the little ones, and make sure they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket. Yeah, Dypen's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. You're so brave and magnificent. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought I'd make everything right. But I haven't listened to what Iris just said. Sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. Oh. I mean, if you know you've never had them, and you don't feel like you always wanted to meet them. It's true. I do want to see Daddy. So much. Oh, Iris.
Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris?
Well, he reckons he popped the manuscript or whatever, right? But come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. If that story were really an old Windybank storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Ah.
Unless Susato read Mr. Wilson's writings beforehand and probably knew about it from that. Maybe. That's where I'm going with this theory right now. I'm going to theorize on that.
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Huh. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars with a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet.
Now, someday you will be a grown-up too, Gina. Someday you will be a grown-up as well. to be careful about what you say here.
I'm telling you, that mantle script ain't at Windybanks. You'd soon see it if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. See? Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris. Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Guinea. We should go back downstairs. Yeah, alright. And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you?
No, of course not. Nothing of relevance happened here, so no, I'm not going to. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina. Gina. You must have me make breakfast tomorrow morning, are you shush? Oh my, Susanna, what happened to your voice?
Oh yes, please, I can't wait, Susie. Good night then. It's getting kind of late for Susie. She needs to get her sleep.
She's starting to get aggressive now. Iris, it sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult, but deep down, she's still just a child.
Well, I think it's time that I turned in for overnight.
True.
Naruhodo-san, I'm about to lose it here.
Go sleep. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. Can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. And I intend to find the truth as soon as this case actually really begins. Because right now it's just kind of character backstory stuff we're getting.
Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo.
That voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. Why is he singing to me? What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone. Ina. She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty. I went in to check on them. In the middle of the night. 2 girls sleeping in a room. Don't ask why. I just... Let's move on. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received a distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe the girl has gone home. But I've been waiting for over an hour now. Over an hour? Oh. If you indulge me, look out for the window, my dear fellow. And what's this about? And what is out the window? Is she breaking into the pawn shop? Wait a minute, why is there a light on at this time of night? We can see that from around the corner somehow. We can see that from around the corners. How are we able to see the pawn shop? It's on the same side of the road as Sholmes' house. No, I don't get that. We're breaking the laws of physics here. That's Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Windybank's? Oh no. It's simple. If that story was really in old Windybank's storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it.
sorry, Ice, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. Could Gina have gone? Yes, she probably did. Either that or it's Mr. Benedict. I seem to have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Oh no, no, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once. At once, I mean. Miss Susato. At once. The door to Winniebank's. It's open. And the lamp is burning. It must be Gina, mustn't it? Why would it be so stupid to leave the lamp on? Everybody's gonna know she's in there. Why would you do that? Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come. There's not a moment to lose. Clearly something is afoot inside. Let us hope Mr. Winniebank has not been murdered. There's no one here. Oh. I already see something that's out of place. Yeah, I think this is where our case really begins. Oh yes. There is. What? Ah! Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! What the? Has Sholmes been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. But... after them, go! Right. The chase is on. Blast! I've lost them. Hello, hello. What have we here? Hello, hello. What have we here? Oh. The alarm was just raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot. Shot? Blimey. With the policeman close behind me, I ran back to Winniebank's. Let me guess Gina is there. And she'll be accused of shooting him. Oh wait, Susato's there.
Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Naruhodo!
How bad is it? Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry!
Hello. Okay, he has been killed. And Gina's in there too. Yep.
It's Gina!
I guess I know who our client is going to be. Oh, that's the end of that part. No, it's only just, yeah, it's not even an hour yet. Alright, I guess I'll keep going. That was a pretty short part. Keep going. Bang! I'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. After them, go! Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry! Oh, behind that door in the storeroom, hurry! It's Gina. Yep, she has been framed for murder. From that moment, Winniebank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Baker Street. Oh, Iris. A telegram came, but all it said was, "Wait at home." Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Guinea were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno? Poor Iris. She's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Something awful. You have to look at my armband again. No. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Winniebank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Oh, yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Winniebank's in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street, and I chased after them, but they got away. So, it was one of them who shot old Mr. Winniebank, I suppose. I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. I mean, technically... Oh, hold on, I need to clear my throat again. Okay, so in this case, right now we have 2 different crimes that have occurred. We have the murder of Mr. Winniebank, and we have the shooting of Mr. Sholmes. So, considering that Susato and Naruhodo were both present when Sholmes was shot, and he's also still conscious too, by the way, we can all 3 kind of agree that Gina did not shoot Mr. Sholmes. So, now as for Mr. Winniebank, it's unclear right now. I mean, I'm presuming she was set up because, because that's just the way the game is, but from a neutral standpoint, we don't know right now. It would appear that way. But we do know there were 2 other suspects that got away. We don't know what their involvement is with Gina. But we do know they shot Mr. Sholmes, so they are guilty of assault, pretty much. Assault with a deadly weapon. Didn't quite kill him, but yeah, it's like... I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Oh, why not? And they've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Guinea? But why? Well, the thing is... No, Guinea wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did. Then why have they arrested her? I'm sorry, there was nothing I could do. I don't understand why they arrested Guinea. It's not fair. What about the 2 thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? Now, that's not entirely accurate. No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. This is also horrible. The thing is, Mr. Winniebank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no. And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards...
Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room, right?
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yes, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well...
What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't.
So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes, even though I just told you that. He was taken to the hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Windybanks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet.
Hurley was shot? No, no.
It's alright, his life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at Saint Sinners. They're tending to him there.
I must see him. At once.
Well, I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see.
To operate? Oh, poor Hurley.
It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windybank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. Well, kind of. It was kind of pitch black. There was a light on inside the shop. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them. Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but... well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. I mean, I had a sword. I could have, like, stabbed them.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Bruno.
True, that's possible.
On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris.
Where's Susie, Bruno?
She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while.
Why aren't you there then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Suzette stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so we didn't get started until later.
Ah, I see.
And besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know and I would have come to the station.
I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Bruno. I'll be your new assistant now.
Oh boy. Is that where we're going? I can't just stand sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. But I don't want to leave her alone here either. What's the better option? Leave the 10-year-old at home, or bring her to a bloody murder scene? What is the right thing to do here? Let's see. We'll take her to the murder scene. It'll be fun. Right then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me.
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Gina's at the prisons. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed.
And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Prison, hospital. No pawnbroker. Okay, well, we'll go to the hospital first.
Hurley! Oh. He's not here.
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? Unless he climbed out Spider-Man style and is already on the case.
Ooh, I know what's probably happened. Cray was being a big baby, and a bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered.
Oh.
Hello, hello. What have we here? This ward is off limits. No visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh?
Well, I'll have you know. We're Hurley's next of kin.
Yeah? Oh. Well, begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. Ma'am, sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver is as mysterious. There's family, eh? Yeah, that's how you see us? Sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he's currently in the operating theater, ma'am. Undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive? Can we go watch?
It has been several hours since it went in.
Oh dear. Is he going to be alright?
Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Our very poor gentleman claims he may have a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Huh. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume he won't be back here for several hours yet. See, thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
But let me investigate. There's a notice board on the wall here. Look, let's see, what does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron.
Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine.
Okay.
If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Rats and mice. Oh, I see. This is a rather old building, I suppose. Why are they eating the medicine? They're probably gonna die.
But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
I certainly hope so for Mr. Sholmes' sake. This must be Mr. Sholmes' bed.
Poor Hurley.
I know. Looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think that will bother him.
No?
I often find him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world.
I think I'd call the police if I discovered someone like that. I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris?
Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? Let me explain. They're for people with leg injuries to help them walk. You hold one under each arm, you see?
Ah, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital? You're so very weird, you know?
I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest, and been brought here along with his weapons.
That's surprisingly plausible. Stop being so weird, you know.
Alright. Let's go see Gina. Our client. Or will be client. Hello, Gina. Why do you have that in your cell? Why?
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made. Gee, I wonder why the police didn't confiscate that from you. This makes no sense. What's going on?
I wish she wouldn't point it at me all the time, though. And by the way, as soon as you fire that, it's going to bounce back and hit you in the face. So I just want you to be aware of that. There's a giant metal bar in the way.
What are you here for? Guinea?
I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you.
Well, you can't.
Sorry?
You heard. Get lost. Don't be like that, Guinea. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. You think you know me. Pull the other one.
Oh.
Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by.
But are you a murderer? That's the question.
And if I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay me hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But, Guinea... I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me is overlike. So it's my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one.
She couldn't be staring at me anymore, obviously, if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Guinea?
Don't you want to see my armband? I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? Because you know I'm so much better? Is that why? You were waiting for me?
He wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. Don't pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? Because that's how it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums, my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, well, you'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers or worse. I've had it happen to me before or more. Been sold out and nearly snuffed on the back of it. Can't trust no one. That's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass dead.
Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could...
Forget it! Ginny! Don't you trust Bruno? Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone.
Will you tell us what happened then, Gina? Last night at the pawnbroker's.
There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and,
You know the rest. No, I don't know the rest. That's why I'm asking.
But why, Guinea? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know? It's a lot of work. And half the time, you don't even get nothing.
Is that really why you broke into the place?
What?
Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else?
Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Guinea. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me, don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
What did you mean before, Gina, when you said that you were the biggest liar of the lot?
Why don't you tell us?
Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we can help.
Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Guinea, please. Oh yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by.
Picture of a cat. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. It's also in color. It's a color photograph. In what year was this taken? Oh well, actually there have been color photographs already, haven't there? So this is supposed to be like the end of the 19th century, start of the 20th, I think. They didn't have color photography. Just now that I realize that they didn't have color photography back then.
I found it in one of the pockets of his coat. Ain't no point in me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Guinea.
Capital wrestling there, okay. It's on the back. Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13th February, 9 p.m. Article deposited. 1 small box. Loan amount paid 10 shillings. Redemption deadline April 13th, 9 p.m.
So it's a ticket. So his photographic print is a redemption ticket.
13th of February? That could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it?
A small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Bruno, if Mr. McGill still had the ticket, then presumably he never redeemed the article. So do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop?
Ah, yes. If it's something McGill had deposited, we need to investigate. Small box, so it's already past the expiration date. There's also this symbol here. Okay. Alright, let's go to the crime scene.
This is where it happened then. Last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place, looking for valuables.
But, apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. Well, you're not looking closely enough.
No, you're not right about that, actually. No, I disagree.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Including me. Oi, I heard that. Fish and chips. Oh, Inspector, Fish and chips. Good morning. Suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
Ah! Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming. I crushed my fish.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley, as he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak.
And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that.
Would you believe it?
He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Like, what? What kind of compromat does Iris hold over Gregson, I wonder? Oh, where are me manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? I have some fish juice here. Perhaps you'd like some juice. Some nice, refreshing fruit juice.
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some.
In my little thermos. Glug, 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 glug. Ah, lovely. Ah, very much. I'd really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. I would like to examine, but I guess we'll talk first. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. Just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina, you're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before a judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid...
I see through your soul. Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the...
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? Why would you do that?
How could you... How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all. I saw through your soul with my goggles.
And I mean never to try and keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison, as we just saw. She should be. That's assuming she hasn't looked at the key from the jailer, of course.
Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition?
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on as Saint Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy, no visiting at all.
Oh.
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
Oh no.
He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding.
But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better.
Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Well, because, of course... Ah, yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear, please don't die early. We still have another game.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater.
I couldn't help noticing, Inspector.
What? Out with it, sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper. We don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right. You do treat us differently. Do you have something for children, Mr. Gregson?
It's because of those adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories, that's why. Oh. I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson.
Oh, well yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
And what did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember really.
It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, that's how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what the one line did for me, eh? The very next month my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you.
Oh, that's amazing.
All because everyone at the Yard reads them. They read all the Sherlock Holmes stories. They even set up a fan club for me.
Of course. That explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson, no. The great detective will say, he's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. Can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Gregsy.
Every month, when the new Rance magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
Glug, 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 glug. Ah, lovely. Oh, very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, what is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message. I wonder what it could be. Yeah, you could just tell me. Hey, would you like to look at my armband? Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think? We don't tend to share, Sunshine. Not with the general public.
In that case, Gregsy, how about some herbal tea?
Glug, 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 glug. Ah, lovely. How very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. You don't mind sharing that then? The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instructions from the yard to examine every article in the shop, and every ledger and book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through all of it in the shifts at least. Still, we'll be working through overnight, that's for sure. Even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface. Crime in a pawnbroker's. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare. Worst. It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know. Crime in a pawnbroker's. We have to catalog everything. Everything. Oh, that's good early, but I can't find anything out of place. So it's like broken stuff right there.
Alright then, let's see what we can uncover.
Oi, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You can't touch anything in there.
Oh, but we were hoping to investigate.
This is a crime scene for Pete's sake, no touching.
What's the problem, Gregsy? Rune was a lawyer, you know that.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship, ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn on my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruhodo was to be properly appointed by the accused, that'd be another matter. The accused, huh? If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to let you nose around.
Did you hear that, Runo? You need Guinea to sign some representation papers.
Looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is the only way. Alright. So we can't do anything until we, get the papers. Yeah, I do want to point out there is some bloody stuff on the calendar over here. I don't see any small box yet. Unless it's this thing here. Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector, or you just wanna wait and stare at each other? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side. Your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She's had to head off. Head off? Where? To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course, I'd forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we'd finished questioning her. But she asked her to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service. Yum. Yum. Nope. Fish and chips. Fish and chips. Fish and chips. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Fish and chips.
Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me. I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Alright, I guess that's all we can do here from now. Unless I present this thing. I don't know if this would be Inspector Lexon. What do you think? Nope, okay. Nothing. Gee. Yes, the clock room. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust?
Yes, thank you very much.
There we are. Sugaru-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland? Suzaru-san!
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
What was that all about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were you talking about Miss Susanoo's return to her homeland? And tomorrow?
Tomorrow? But what about Guinea's trial? You mean...
She's been formally charged now.
Oh dear.
Explain. Miss Suzato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. This takes several months of travel. Your life here can continue just as... That's not what I asked.
What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no.
Professor Mikotoba. Yes, remember me? If I may.
Yes, sorry.
You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Remember me? We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown. And it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it.
As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. You're really going to make Iris my assistant now.
Why? Why?
So, Gina has been charged. She'll have to appear in court.
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the day of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No, not even 24 hours later? Later? I mean...
Gina. Ah, the Lestrade girl, and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstressed as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Guinea would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart? In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave, now.
He doesn't like children. He's a bad man. Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their truths, all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday?
Yes. Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. Now, out. I do not like children. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct to Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it is time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged in murder, Suzawa-san about to leave. Sholmes has shot and is missing. Gregson has a thing for a small child.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Miss Suzato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I just have to do what I can. As a lawyer. As a super lawyer. Hello again, Gina. We meet again. Don't stop that. You take a long time to load that thing, like you just snatch it from you. What are you out here for now?
to have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously. I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition to that thing, don't I? Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Yeah? Farewell? Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London, and I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie? Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes. So I have one final request, Nina, before our paths never cross again. My dying wish, right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. I am a cruel mistress. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You told us that everyone lies. So prove it, by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Guinea? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but... is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted. Ah! The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? So she must have... okay, she must have been the one who tampered with the omnibus between, you know, the recesses, I'm guessing. So that was the lie, I guess. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me into the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilder was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. And that was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubby hole. Couldn't see a thing. Couldn't see a thing, and then... thought. I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilda discovered you. Yeah. He pulled me out from the seat and sat me next to the dead man. And there wasn't much light to see by, but when I looked at me lands, I had the cubs, blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then, Mr. McGilda started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you? How? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was gonna do after the crow was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarp it before the coppers showed up. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Everything. You said Mr. McGill made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch-black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGill sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but... it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, you see? Couldn't help it. And McGill heard that and dragged me out on my arm. And that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer where he'd been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc? A disc? Do you mean? Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at the Winniebanks. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus. Not for long. The Gilda spotted it straight away. He picked it up, smartish, and stuffed it inside his pocket. So that disc... was it in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of the... It was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bug trotter told me. I want to mutter a word of it to no one. Because it was so dark under that seat in the cab. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilda getting on board. Nah, not only him. Oh. Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilda and the victim. Mr. Three-Fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilda claimed he slept during the carriage ride. Hi, Sonny, I'm back again. But whenever I'm in charge, I take him with a fierce tiredness and always succumb to it. Bye-bye. And your own testimony, Gina, supported this. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time in low voices. Nani? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGillicuddy and the victim knew each other. So, McGillicuddy was lying as I suspected. I knew it weren't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that the blokes had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to stop, McGillicuddy told me to eye back on the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two Colson up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, McGillicuddy asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor? Oh, now then, fella. What I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. Guinea pigs. Very fresh. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yup, you got it. It was Windybanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop this coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGillicuddy opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there. But not without conditions. I see. What were McGillicuddy's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul. Not for anything. About what I saw, what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more. Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coachman a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all? You asked me to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. Bean's been taking the overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. You understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right, and I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 weeks. 2 months. You have to hang on to it until then. Is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, Windybanks, so it is, and you're to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited, and any old fiend could come along and buy it. Eh? But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me... Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court, to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you might say? And what is it that you want? Silence. Goodbye. After he'd gone over it, I piped it. I was as far away from there as I could. I hid in the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch her the next day once it got dark. So McGillicuddy planned it, and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In that big old courtroom. I told some croakers. The thing is, he said it would make it so that we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us. We was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean, Mr. McGilded would have... In an earthbeat. We had a lot of us chased out of there if you wanted, with a giant bulldozer. And then where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, I swear. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But, I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. A favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork, or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see? You what? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Guinea. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? Let's just keep her in suspense, shall we? That's why I want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy. Is that it? Something like that. Miss Suzato? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Yes, you need a lawyer. You very much need a lawyer. Poor Guinea. She seems so lonely. Alright. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windybanks now. Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Guinea when we're done here. Done there. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us from investigating at Windybanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Is he ever going to be happy about anything? Oh, we're to be continued. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'll probably stop here then. At the 2-hour mark. Yes! Okay. Alright, so we are getting, like, unresolved issues from Case 3 being addressed now. So the question is what is on the disc? Why was the disc present when Mason was murdered? And what did McGilded want with it? So, we shall find out in the next part of Grey's Attorney Chronicles Adventures. Next time. I'm going to continue playing. Later in the week. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. And I will hopefully see you next time. Take care. Have a good night.